Stop what you're doing right now because I'm going to tell you about an amazing new type of business funding that you've never heard of before, you definitely don't have, and you're definitely going to want. If you have a business with a merchant account, I can get you up to $10,000 right now. This is not a merchant cash advance, it's a great line of credit. And then as you grow your business, you can get up to $100,000 later just by growing your business. This is a line of credit, which means you can get cash straight into your business bank account any moment. Just log online, click a few buttons, and get cash. You do not have to provide taxes or profit and loss statements or bank statements or bank logins or any of that other junk in order to get approved. Initially, it's just based on your credit. In fact, we're going to pull your credit, but we won't even put a hard inquiry on your credit report. We're just going to do a soft pull. There's no hard inquiry. In fact, there's no personal reporting now or ever. No matter whatever happens with this account, this is a business funding account that will never show up on your personal credit report. Not a UCC filing, absolutely nothing. In fact, and this is crazy, there's no personal guarantee. Business funding only, up to $10,000 now, up to $100,000 later, without any personal guarantee. That is a very unique product. You won't get that anywhere else. Something else even crazier, nobody is declined for this financing. Again, as long as you have a business that has a merchant account in order to accept payments from clients, you can get this funding in as little as 2 days. And it grows with your business. So like I said, you get up to $10,000 now based on your credit score, but as you use it and process it and grow your business, it grows with you. As much as every 3 months, you can ask for increases all the way up to $100,000. Something else that's amazing is it comes with an automated easy pay feature where you automatically make payments based on your merchant processing back to your line of credit when you have the ability to pay. So you never have to worry about making a minimum monthly payment. Plus, on top of all that, it builds your business credit. So the more you use it, the better your business is going to look. You're going to end up qualifying for other financing from other lenders. The membership setup is $99.97 one time, and then a $9.97 monthly fee. There's no annual fee on top of that. It's just one-time setup, and then your monthly fee of $9.97, and you can get this financing. The interest rates range from 9 to 19% plus prime, which is comparable to what you get with most business credit cards out there, except for with this, you could drop cash directly into your bank account. But along with the easy auto pay features, if you use this correctly, the way it's supposed to be done, you're going to be paying off things within a grace period that's determined, and you end up paying no interest expense at all. Most of our clients do not end up paying any interest while they use the financing because of the easy auto pay feature. And then at any moment you want, you can just go online, transfer funds directly into your bank account at 2% of the transfer fee. Of course, you're going to get a credit card you can use with no transfer fees at all. So you can use a credit card, you can transfer the cash into your bank at any moment, and it's super cheap. So with all the great things about this kind of funding, you understand why it's growing so quickly. But man, has it been growing. It has been growing for us month, over 30 to 50% almost every single month. And in 1 month, we had over 300% growth. And let me show you what this actually looks like. One thing to say this, another thing to show it. Here's a list of all the clients that we've been signing up over the last few months. We've obscured the names in order to maintain their privacy. But you can see here, as you scroll, it just goes on and on. Here, 7,500. Here, 5,000. Here, 1,300. Everybody is getting approved for something. If you need funding, we should add your name to this list. And if you're thinking, yes, I would love to add my name to the list, but what the heck is it? This is the merchant line. Let me introduce to you the merchant line. If you would like a merchant line of credit, we can get one for you. And it's easy. All you got to do is look below the video. There's either going to be a link or a button that you can click on that will take you to our enrollment form. When I say enrollment form, it's not an application because you will be approved as long as you have a business with a merchant account. Get your merchant line right now. Get up to $10,000 in a week, up to $100,000 in the next few months. Now, when you do that, you're going to need to have 4 things with you. You're going to need to be able to attach a picture of your driver's license. You need to be able to attach your copy of your articles or a DBA or business license, something to validate that you have an actual business. You'll need to provide your EIN letter to show that you are registered with the government. That's your SS4 or your 147C. And you'll need to have a business bank account that has a voided check to show that you have a bank account or a bank letter. Put all that together, click on the link. You're going to go to this form. You put in your name and email. And here is the enrollment form you're going to get. The first page recaps everything I'm saying. It tells you exactly what you're going to be getting. And the second page, you'll provide your company information, personal information, merchant processing information, and payment authorization. If you're sitting there thinking, I don't have a merchant account, don't worry, we can set one up for you as long as you have a use for one. Now, how much money are you going to get? Look at the chart. All right, most of our people, you see this chart here, it's exactly based on your FICO score from Experian, and I would say the average that we get is around the is 2,700. So let's say the 3,500 range is the most closest to that. That's where you're going to get when you apply for this financing. Then, like I said, anytime you want increases, as long as your business is processing money, you can come back and request increases. So that's it. Go apply right now and we'll get you set up. Now, if you're not ready and you want to learn more, stick with me and I'll go through some more things in a little more detail so you can understand what it is. Now, you may be thinking, who's this First Merchants company? We're a payment processing company. That's our background in merchant processing. We help you get paid from your customers. But right now, we have a unique, easy, and profitable way to finance your business, and that's what we're talking about with the Merchant Line. Our staff has tons of experience, over 20 years of experience, helping people with their merchant processing, and we've helped provide over $1 billion in funding through our partners and a lot of different funding programs. So we really know what we're talking about, and we know that this is something special. You should work with us because we're giving you something special you can't get anywhere else, and we understand your payment processing and your financing needs. Again, who qualifies for the financing? It's any U.S. business with a merchant account. That's it. As long as the owner has a social security number and a credit profile, doesn't matter what your score is, as long as you have a business and you have a merchant account, you qualify for this financing. And if you don't have a merchant account, but you could use one, maybe you've only been doing cash or check or who knows what, but people would pay you by credit card, we'll set up a merchant account for you. You don't have to have payment processing history. What's a merchant account? If you're still not sure, it's a way to accept payments from a client using a credit card. So when you walk into a restaurant and you swipe that card, you're swiping it in a merchant account, and that's how they get paid. So if your business could be paid by a credit card, you need a merchant account, and we'll set one up for you. Now, how much funding are you going to get? Again, it's up to $10,000 based on your FICO score. It's your Experian score using FICO 8. And you can get up to 10 grand. I showed you the chart earlier. That's your first stage one funding. Happens very fast. It's easy. They're not looking at other stuff. They don't want depth. They don't care about all the different trade lines, all the things other lenders might look at. Just going to look at the score. Fast and simple. That's stage one. After that, you say if you've got a business and you're doing a lot of money, you want to get increases, great. You can get increases all the way up to 75 grand. I had a client come in who got $500 initially because his credit was not that great. And within a few months, he was up to $75,000. So this is something anybody can do. At that point, they're going to look at your business and not so much at you. There are 3 industries that we cannot help. So I'm sorry if you're in the adult industry or gambling or if you sell marijuana. Sorry, we cannot help you, but you can't get a merchant account for marijuana anyway. So, you're kind of out regardless. Now, we can do CBD, right? As long as it's not something you ingest. So, and, there's exceptions on the other ones as well. But as long as you don't fit in those buckets, then you can get this. Now, this program is truly awesome. I'm about to tell you in detail why this financing is awesome. And there's really 8 reasons, right? It's a true line of credit with no taxes or bank statements or documentation required. There's no hard inquiry placed on your credit report. How many people are going to say that? There's no personal reporting even. No matter what, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from now, you keep using this, it'll never show up on your personal credit no matter what happens. And when I say no matter what happens, you're not even providing a personal guarantee. So there is no way we could report to personal because we have no right to, right? Now, nobody is declined for this financing. And if you're sitting there thinking, what the heck is that? How is nobody declined? Well, the better your credit, the more you're going to get, but nobody is declined. And if you have a business, we'll take a shot and give you a chance. I've had a lot of people over the years say, hey, you know what? Why won't they give me a chance? Guess what? We will give anybody a chance as long as you have a business with a merchant account. And one of the reasons that we're willing to do this is that we're going to grow it with your business. It might start out a little bit low if your credit is challenged, but then if you're doing revenue, we're going to grow with you. Nobody else does this. And that's because we have the easy auto pay feature. As you're doing your merchant processing, the line is automatically paid off. So because of that, we have the confidence that we can give financing to anybody and give you a shot and try to make it grow. And best of all, especially if this is not enough money for you, it's going to build your business credit over time. So you're going to qualify with other lenders for more things. So we're really springboarding you to any kind of financing you may want in the future. Let's go through it real quick. True line of credit. Why do I say it's a true line of credit? By true line of credit, I mean that at any moment you can go online, click a few buttons, and transfer cash straight into your bank account. Now, a lot of business credit cards will say they're a line of credit, but they're really not because you can't get cash, right? There's a lot of merchant cash advance lenders that say they have a line of credit, but they have these insane interest rates. This is not that. You got interest rates similar to a business credit card, but you can pull cash at any time without having to ask somebody's permission or request a check or anything like that. And there's no penalties. Boom, you just transfer the funds. Now, when I say no taxes or statements, what do I mean? Literally, the only thing we ask for is driver's license, voided check, articles or DBA, and your EIN letter. That's it. That's not documentation. That's just we want to prove that you are a business. But we're not going to ask for the last 3 years bank statements or your tax returns or insurance or some lenders are asking for bank logins. We don't ask for any of that. This is just we just want to know you're real. We're based on your credit initially. Now, if you go apply for financing with a lot of lenders, one thing you're going to see is you're going to rack up inquiries. And after your third or fourth one, the fifth guy is not going to even want to talk to you. Say, wow, you've been applying everywhere. Get out of here. You're obviously, I don't know, a delinquent or who knows what the heck they think. So when you apply with us, you will have no hard inquiries show up on your credit report ever. That means your score is never going to drop. It's not going to get you declined for other products in the future, and you'll be able to do whatever you want. We really believe in separating the business from the person. We care about your business. I know we're based on your credit initially, but this is business financing and it won't ever mess up your personal debt ratios. It won't make it so that you can't apply for a mortgage. And I have clients all the time who say, I want to get this financing. I got to wait till my refi is done. Don't worry about it. It'll have no impact. They are completely separate. One will never know about the other. And it won't get your other personal credit cards closed. I've seen people apply for financing to get new financing, shows up on their credit report. Next thing you know, their other credit cards say, whoa, this guy's got too much debt, and they start closing down the cards. That'll never happen with this because we have completely separated your business from your person. When I say completely, I mean completely. Who else out there is providing financing without a personal guarantee? I can't think of anybody. This is the only financing where a startup can get funding without a personal guarantee. And what that means for you is plain and simple, peace of mind. You're never going to be staying awake in the middle of the night trying to think about how to protect your home because your business went bust, right? Now, we don't want anybody to go bust, but we understand the business is the business, the person is the person. This is a truly unique type of financing nobody else is offering. And with that, when I say unique, it grows with your business. We may start you a little bit smaller, but as you're processing money through that merchant account and you're using the line and growing, you can get increases as much as every 3 months. You can come back and ask for an increase. It's not automatically reviewed, which is good for you because you don't want this to come back and chop your line because we saw you had a bad quarter, right? It's when you want it. Anytime you have a good quarter, come in, give us your bank statements and ask for an increase. And if we can, we will. And often we do. Now let's talk about the Easy Auto Pay feature. When I say Easy Auto Pay, what I mean is this. We're going to link your merchant account with your line of credit. So as you process money through your merchant account, a percentage is automatically going to go towards paying off any liabilities that you have on your line of credit. What this means is that your pay is based on when you actually have money. So if you have a slow month, you're going to pay less, and we're cool with that. It's designed to work that way. If you have a big month, you're going to pay a little bit more. You never have to worry about making some huge payment when all of a sudden you're closed for half of the month because of COVID. No, we work with your business and grow with you, right? So it's automatically paid. It's going to end up being the easiest account you ever have because you never have to worry about making payments. It just happens automatically. As long as you're in business, we're happy and working with you. Now, it builds your business credit. Again, a lot of people really care about this because they care about the long-term future of their business and what kind of financing you might get a year or two from now. You want to apply for an SBA loan next year or 2 years from now? Well, you start building your business credit now. And this is a trade line, reports to Dun & Bradstreet and Experian Business, where it's going to help demonstrate that you are a good, viable business, that it's growing, and qualifies for credit. Now, a lot of clients are going to use these accounts, and because of the Easy Auto Pay feature, you're going to be paying off most or all of your expenses within a very generous grace period that we've determined. And if you do that, you end up paying no interest expense at all. That's amazing, right? I mean, I had that client I told you about who came and got $500 and now he's up to $75,000. He doesn't pay a penny of interest expense any month because his funds are always revolving. What you want to do is, instead of having a ton of money just sitting in the bank, losing money, right? If your money's in the bank and it's just sitting there, you could be utilizing it. Instead, use our line of credit for that. That way you can use your money for whatever you want. When your expenses come in, charge it up, pay it off as your money comes in. So enroll now. Get your very own merchant line of credit. Click on the link or button below and get the only type of financing that you can get for your business that comes without a personal guarantee. Still not ready? If you're one of those people that had lots and lots of questions, let's dig into it even further until you're sick of hearing me. At any moment, you can hop off and apply. But let's see, here's some common questions or objections that people get when they're thinking about doing this. First of all, I've never heard of this before, so maybe I don't want to do it. Or I need more funding. Or the interest rate, maybe that's too high. Or I don't like this link with a merchant account, the easy auto pay feature. Or I don't have a merchant account. Or I don't have a use for a merchant account. Or I don't like the fees. Let's dig into these and see if we can make it work. All right, so if you're sitting there thinking, I've never heard of this before, I get it. New can be scary, but guess what? This really isn't that new. What we've done is we've taken three things that you definitely know. Everybody's heard of lines of credit. Everybody's heard of a merchant account. Everybody's heard about bank accounts. We took those three things and combined them together and turned it into something awesome. So it's really just three things you already know. Working together would give you the benefit of funding without a personal guarantee that grows with your business, right? So the only thing we did is we took out the worst part of any of these things in order to make it so that it's better. So can't fault better. It's just things that you already know of. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I need more funding, you're talking about 10 grand now, I need 100 grand right now. Well, if your business qualifies, we can go straight for larger amounts of funding. But the easiest thing to do is just open your line first with your credit, and we can immediately ask for an increase if you're doing a lot of revenue. But here's the real thing. If you need more funding, great, go get it. We're not getting in the way. We get you closer to your goal. We don't stop you in any way because we don't report on your credit. There's no inquiry based on your credit. It's not going to interfere with any other kind of funding you're going to get. There's no personal guarantee. There's no UCC filing. A lot of lenders put a UCC filing, which stop other kinds of funding. None of that. In fact, we can even refer you to the people that send clients to us for more funding if you need it. All right. So we might not be everything you need, but we don't want to be everything you need. We want to be your working capital line. And we're very happy doing that. And it's good for you, even if you want other funding. Of course, you can request increases every 3 months. So we're happy to grow into what you want, but we don't stop you. Now, if you're thinking the interest rate sounds a little bit high, this 9 to 19% plus prime, and I'll tell you, I see a lot of people in the 15% plus for prime range. Well, first of all, it's pretty similar to what you're getting on business credit cards. So it's about in line with that. Much cheaper than merchant cash advances. I mean, much. Those can be like 100% APR. But if you're comparing this with traditional line of credit, like you can go to US Bank and you want a business line of credit, you can go get a business line of credit at 4% at US Bank, okay? We're never gonna be cheaper than that. If you qualify for that, go get it. You don't need us. But it's super difficult to get approved for those things. You gotta provide multiple years bank statements, tax returns, all the things that I talk about that you don't have to do with us. And there's gonna be reasons. They're gonna look at those bank statements, they're gonna look at your tax returns, they're gonna find reasons to turn you down. We don't look for those, we don't care about those. So if you go and it doesn't work, come back to us. Guess what? They're going to leave inquiries on your credit report. We won't. We don't do anything to hurt you. And of course, if you think the interest rate's too high, don't worry about it. Just use the line as intended, and you don't end up paying any interest expense at all. So I mean, how do you beat no interest expense at all? How do you beat that? You don't. All right, what's with this? If you're nervous about the link to the merchant account, I get it, right? We're talking about the cash flow of your business, and you need to manage that and make sure it's perfect. And I want to let you know that it's really a benefit. It's not something to be scared about. And it enables us to create a structure where you can get financing without a personal guarantee, right? I mean, that's a huge benefit as far as not worrying about the risk, right? Now, we can adjust the percentage that comes from your bank account. So let's figure out what your expenses are going to be. Let's look at your revenue. Come up with a custom solution. We can do that. We can make this work for you. It doesn't have to work against you. But let's say something weird happens where you ended up overpaying onto your line of credit, money that didn't need to be paid. You haven't lost anything. You just develop a positive balance of cash in your account, and at any moment you can just transfer it to your bank account and there's really no loss at all. So if you overpay or underpay, we work it out over time. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have a merchant account, so I want this, but I can't get it. Guess what? We can set up a merchant account for you. We are originally a payment processing company. That's what we do. We'd love to set up a merchant account for you. You don't have to get one from us, but we're happy to do it as long as you have a use for one. That's the most important thing. A lot of businesses, there's plenty of businesses out there, maybe using Square, PayPal, or you get paid in checks. A lot of our clients find that even if they weren't using a merchant account much before, when they start offering it, they start getting a lot of payments that way. It ends up being a real benefit for your business. So awesome. Let's figure it out. But if we can't come up with a use for one, that is a hard and fast rule, right? You need a merchant account in order to get this financing. Without it, you do not qualify. That's really the only thing we absolutely care about. And so we got to come up with one. And if you don't have one, then it's just not going to be a fit. But for everybody else, and that's most people, we can set it up for you. Now, the last thing, if you're sitting there thinking, I don't like these fees at $99.97 and the $9.97 a month, sounds like a lot. But again, once you're in, there's no annual fee, so it's just that monthly fee. The financing is super cheap compared to a lot of other types of financing out there, mostly because if you're using it right, you're not paying any interest expense at all, right? So you have no personal guarantee, no reporting. It's like ghost financing. You use it for what you want. You only pay if you carry a balance over long term, and most people end up having no other fees. That's it. So in that sense, it's great. So enroll now. Get your very own merchant line of credit. Click on the link or button below and get the only type of financing that you can get for your business that comes without a personal guarantee. Still not ready? Are you still here sitting here thinking about it? Well, I'll keep talking until you're done. So let's talk about who qualifies for how much and why. All right. So again, we got two stages to qualification for the financing. Your stage one approval is based on your personal credit score, as I've mentioned. You get anywhere from $200 to $10,000 based on your score, right? Now, I've had some people come in and say, my score just dropped, something just happened, so I'm going to wait a couple months and apply. You don't have to worry about that. Go ahead and apply, and if your score goes up by 50 points, come and let us know. We'll reevaluate and bump it up if it's actually gone up. So that's awesome. And then the second stage is based on your business cash flow. How much money you're putting through the business, the more you're doing through your business, the more funding you can get. Here's some examples of people that we've helped in the past, right? Client came to us, had been declined for funding elsewhere, the 760 FICO score. You would think that everybody would love him, but he had thin credit, meaning, one J.C. Penney's card for 10 years or something like that. Couldn't get any financing anywhere else, got $7,500 from us. You can't fault that. Here's another client declined elsewhere, had an 810 FICO score. And again, he's like, that's amazing. That's one of the best scores out there. But he had 12 other business credit cards. So there was nobody left to go to until he found us. He got $10,000 from us right out the gate. We had another client came to us, and this one should seem a little weird to you because I showed you a chart that showed exactly what people are going to get. He only had a 697. Somehow he ended up getting 7,500. I don't know, game the system, whatever. I'm not complaining. We're happy it worked. Again, he's declined elsewhere, but was able to get 7,500 from us. Last example is, maybe going to look the opposite of exciting. We had a client come in with a 440 FICO score. If you know anything about credit, that's pretty darn low. And somebody with a 440 is going to get nothing most places, or only qualify for the most egregious, horrible interest rates you've ever heard of. Guess what? This person got a $200 starter line of credit, and as long as they use it and grow their business with it, just like anybody else, they can get up to $25,000, $50,000, right? And it's a chance to rebuild their credit and get money when otherwise they wouldn't be able to. Okay, so that's when we talked about the stage one qualification. Let's go into detail on the stage two qualification. So if you've got a business and you're pumping revenue through your business, that's awesome, especially during COVID or everything. Hats off to you for doing a good job in a hard time. So our goal is to get our line of credit to cover 100% of your monthly expenses. So if you are doing 100 grand a month and you got 25,000 in set recurring expenses, great. We want to set a 25% split on your merchant processing, and you're going to put it on and pay it off, and you potentially qualify for a $25,000 line of credit. And we may have started you at 5, but our goal is to work up to covering 100% of your expenses, or whatever you do is split on your merchant account. So in this example, let's say you have $35,000 in monthly expenses. We could just bump up that split to 35%, and you're getting 35 grand going on the card, and then we can set it up that way. We want to grow with you. Let's talk about timeline. How long does it take to get started? All right, well, let's say you're coming in and you don't have a merchant account yet. This process is a lot of variance in how long it's going to take. Could take anywhere from 1 to 14 days. I say, wow, from 1 day to 14 days, there's a big difference there. But it depends on if you're coming in with everything, you're ready to go, and which processor we can send you to. Some processors will auto-approve people in an hour. Other ones are going to want to look at your bank statements or whatever the heck they do, because merchant processing, there's a lot of variance in what they do. So what we're going to do is we're going to send out a DocuSign with our terms, the terms of the merchant account, which are separate from what I've been talking about. And usually our longest delays just come from people not signing up fast. Maybe they're not signing it, maybe they don't submit whatever they got to submit. But once they get it in, then we can get you approved right away. And as soon as we get your merchant account approved, you're issued a merchant ID number. With that merchant ID number, we can submit and get you approved for the line of credit in a day. Now, if you're coming in with what would be considered a high-risk account, that'd be a merchant account for credit repair or Forex trading or CBD, those are going to take longer and they're going to ask for more documentation. And that's just the nature of the beast. And it's going to take a little longer too. So assume it could take up to 30 days to get a merchant account if you require high risk processing. Some consultants would fall in that bucket. And again, that's not because we're slow. It's just because it takes longer to do stuff like that. So anywhere from 1 to 14 days for the merchant account. But a lot of people are getting approved in like 2 or 3 days. Once you get that approved, the funding itself takes anywhere from 1 to 7 days. The longest time for that is typically just the time it takes for us to get to you because we're so dang busy these days, right? We enter your information into the portal. About 30% of them, on average, end up requiring business verification, where we have to submit your EIN card or letter. And then about 20% end up having personal issues like fraud alerts. Everybody and their brother fraud alerts these days. So expect it to take longer if you have a fraud alert. The business verification, that's quick. I mean, it just takes a day. And most people, I'd say the average is about 3 days in order to get approved for the line of credit. And, I had a client turned in at noon, had his merchant account approved by 2, and had his line of credit approved by 4:30 the same day. So sometimes it can happen magically fast. But honestly, with the volume we're doing right now, that happens less and less because sometimes we get 100 people coming in a day, and you just can't process everybody that fast. So enroll now. Get your very own merchant line of credit. Click on the link or button below and get the only type of financing that you can get for your business that comes without a personal guarantee. All right, time to do it. No more time to listen. Now just go sign up.